Hello, I am your host, Lacey J. And today I have a little golden nugget for you. I woke up, I was meditating, and I was thinking back to the other day when Emery sat down on my lap and wanted to read a book. She sat there and said, "Well, I can't read it." And I asked her, "Well, what if you tried? Like what if you just tried? What's the big deal in trying?" And what ended up taking place in front of me, and I got to witness and soaking it all in as a mom, was that she read this entire book. And at the end, she had the biggest smile on her face, and she said, "I did it. That's what happens when you try. I didn't think I could read it, but I did." Friends, that right there, like, what a reminder of what if we tried? What if we went for it? What if we just did the dang thing? What if we just said, I'm going to at least try? Like, I'm just going to try. Because how many of us are so held back, but what if I fail? Right? And I'm talking a lot of times, this is usually it's usually in business, right? It's usually women who are wanting to start a business or start something of their own. And they're like, but what if I fail? Yeah, you could fail. And just like I watched Emery go through her little journey of reading this book, it's most likely we're going to start out shaky and you're going to stumble on some words, but then you start to get the hang of it, right? You start to get the rhythm of reading. You start to notice that this word is the same as this, and you start to catch on because you started and you start to build this confidence along the way. And then what happens? It usually starts to actually unfold because you took that action, you started, and you freaking tried. So, this whole idea of failing, I truly believe has us trapped. And I am like the number one person that has dealt with this the most, probably. And so, whenever I record these podcasts, I'm like, yeah, Lace, this is also a reminder to you. This is also what you're going through. This is also what, you know, that comes up in my own life. And failing, like I'm afraid of failing, that word fail or failing is a word that I myself throw around a lot. But like, what if I fail? What if I fail? And that's just like my immediate reaction. I'm so afraid of failing, but I'm in a season, especially where I'm realizing how much power words have. And so I looked up the definition of fail, and fail is an intransitive verb to prove deficient or lacking, perform ineffectively or inadequately, to be unsuccessful. And I highlighted that. I was like, ding, ding, ding. Can we stop right there and talk about this idea of unsuccessful? I don't know about you, but I think that's what I usually get hung up on, is this idea that I won't be successful. But friends, what does that even mean? What does being unsuccessful even mean? Like truly, if we are so easy to say, well, I'm going to fail, and it might be because we could be unsuccessful, well, then what is success? How do we define success? Because as I am moving through my own coaching program, I we went through this to help our clients, right? How do we define success? Because success is different for everyone. And I don't know. Again, I'd say a lot of times people with business, but like, oh, well, I'm unsuccessful because I'm not making an X amount of sales or money yet, and so I'm unsuccessful. Or, oh, my life doesn't look like XO1457654321 on Instagram, right? And so we have to get clear on, what does success look like for you? What does it look like for me? because we know it's going to look different for everyone. So are you failing? Or is that just the excuse that we have because we don't have a clear picture of what we actually want? But part of knowing what you want is trying. Because how are you supposed to know what you want if you don't try something? Like, do I actually like this? Or do I actually like this? I tried this, but I don't really like this. This isn't for me. It's really not my cup of tea. We have to try and we have to start. So as I coach clients, we get to dive into defining success. We have some really cool tools surrounding success. What does that even look like? How do you run hard after your goals with grace? All of that. And through defining success, what we actually start to uncover are these limiting beliefs, which we then get to dive into those limiting beliefs and explore and see where they're coming from. And it's so fun because as you start to dive into these limiting beliefs that we have on ourselves, right? Then that's where you start to make the shifts. That's where you start to get clear on what you want. That's where things start to come to life. And where I'm at is like they help guide you to create this life that you actually love and you're excited to show up for. And you're not afraid to try something because you aren't failing. Failing is quitting. Failing is just like no longer showing up. But you're trying. You're doing something new. You're getting the hang of it. You're seeing if this is even something that you want to explore. And guess what? When we start something new, we're all a little shaky. We don't know it all yet. As I wrap up this little gold nugget podcast episode, one thing that I felt like you could do right now, if you want to, or later on when you have time, is take out a pen and paper and dive into the 7 layers of why. I can't remember who I even heard this from or maybe who even started it, but you can ask this question. I want to be successful, right? If we're talking about failure, success, or failure being unsuccessful, well, what is success? So what if you dove into like, I want to be successful? Well, why? Because blank blank, whatever it is that you want. Well, why? Why do you want that? Why? And you can definitely go more than seven layers, but so many times by the 7th layer, you are starting to get pretty clear on why you want success or why you want insert whatever it is that you're wanting to kind of get some clarity with. And that is the beauty of it, is you start to uncover success for what it is for you. What it is for you. So I'm leaving that with you. I would love to hear any feedback. You can leave a review on wherever you are streaming from. But you can also tag me on social media so that way I can celebrate with you. I can, say personally thank you for listening to the podcast, for trying this, and just hearing what you're learning and your takeaways from the show. So make sure to check out the show notes for any new things going on, especially as I open up more coaching, which I am freaking so excited about. I feel like after 10 years of wanting to coach, it's finally happening. And of course, you can go to Hey Lacey J, that is HeyLacieJaye.com for everything as well. That is kind of going to be the hub of everything that I'm doing. It's going to be the little generator that we have here. So thank you for being here. I am so excited and I cannot wait to hear how things went for you.